A divided history, China and Taiwan. China and Taiwan have a long and complex history. For centuries, China considered Taiwan as part of its territory. However, Taiwan has its own distinct story. In the 17th century, the island was ruled by the Dutch for a brief period. Later, Japan took control of Taiwan for 50 years. After World War II, things changed again. China's government was weak. The Chinese Communist Party, led by Mao Zedong, fought a civil war against the ruling Nationalist Party. The Communists won. The Nationalists fled to Taiwan in 1949 and established their own government, the Republic of China. China has always maintained that Taiwan is a part of its territory. They believe that eventually Taiwan will be reunited with the mainland. However, Taiwan has developed its own identity as a democratic and independent nation. This difference in views is the root of the conflict between China and Taiwan. Taiwan has held democratic elections since the 1990s. Its people enjoy freedoms that are not available in mainland China. This difference in political systems further complicates the relationship between the two. Taiwan chooses, the 2024 election and China's response. In January 2024, Taiwan held its presidential election. William Lai from the Democratic Progressive Party emerged victorious. The DPP is known for its stance on Taiwan's separate identity. China views the DPP with suspicion. China responded to Lai's victory with displeasure. They see Lai as a separatist. China fears that Lai will push for formal independence, a move that China has vowed to prevent. Following the election, China increased military activities near Taiwan. They conducted large-scale military drills, simulating a blockade of the island. These drills were a clear signal to Taiwan and the international community. China is willing to use force to achieve its goals. Shows of force. China's military drills around Taiwan. China's military drills around Taiwan have become increasingly frequent and intense. In recent years, China has sent warships, fighter jets and bombers near Taiwan's airspace and waters. These actions are designed to intimidate Taiwan and test its defenses. The drills often involve simulating attacks on Taiwan's key infrastructure and military assets. This sends a clear message that China is prepared to use force to achieve reunification. The drills also serve as a warning to other countries, particularly the United States. China wants to deter any nation from intervening militarily if China decides to take action against Taiwan. A promise to protect the U.S. and Taiwan's defense. The United States has been a long-standing supporter of Taiwan. While the U.S. acknowledges China's claim over Taiwan, it also maintains strong unofficial ties with the island. The U.S. provides Taiwan with military equipment and training to help it defend itself. The U.S. has stated that it has a strategic ambiguity policy regarding Taiwan. This means that the U.S. has not explicitly stated whether it would intervene militarily if China attacked Taiwan. However, recent statements by U.S. officials have suggested a stronger commitment to Taiwan's defense. The U.S.'s support for Taiwan is a major source of tension in U.S.-China relations. China views U.S. involvement in Taiwan as interference in its internal affairs. Section 5. One country, two systems. China's stance and Taiwan's rejection. China's official policy on Taiwan is based on the one country, two systems framework. This model, first implemented in Hong Kong, proposes that Taiwan would become a special administrative region of China. Taiwan would retain its own economic system, political system, and way of life. However, Taiwan has consistently rejected the one country, two systems model. They point to the situation in Hong Kong, where China has eroded freedoms and autonomy. Taiwanese people cherish their democratic way of life and are unwilling to give it up. The fundamental difference in how both sides view Taiwan's future makes a peaceful resolution incredibly challenging. Section 6. The world takes sides. International reactions to the conflict. The China-Taiwan conflict has drawn attention from the international community. Many countries are concerned about the potential for conflict in the region. Some nations like Japan and Australia have expressed support for Taiwan's security. However, other countries are hesitant to take sides. They fear economic or political repercussions from China. This complex geopolitical landscape makes it difficult to find a unified international response to the situation. The lack of a clear consensus on how to handle China's assertiveness allows the tensions to persist. International organizations like the United Nations are often limited in their ability to address the issue directly. Section 7. Cyber warfare, a new front in the China-Taiwan standoff. Beyond military drills, the China-Taiwan conflict also plays out in cyberspace. Taiwan has accused China of launching cyber attacks against its government institutions, businesses, and critical infrastructure. These attacks aim to disrupt Taiwan's economy, spread misinformation, and undermine public trust in the government. On the other hand, China also accuses the US and its allies of conducting cyber espionage against Chinese targets. This back and forth of accusations highlights how cybersecurity has become a new battleground in the China-Taiwan conflict. The increasing reliance on technology and interconnectedness makes both sides vulnerable to these attacks. This adds another layer of complexity to an already tense situation. Section 8. Troubled waters, the South China Sea dispute. Adding to the regional tensions, China's assertive behavior extends to the South China Sea. China claims almost the entirety of the South China Sea, overlapping with the claims of several Southeast Asian countries, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei. China has been building artificial islands and military installations in the region, raising concerns about its intentions. The South China Sea dispute further complicates the geopolitical landscape in the Asia-Pacific region. It shows China's willingness to use its growing military and economic power to assert its claims in the region. The potential for miscalculation or accidents in these disputed waters remains a constant threat. This raises the stakes for all parties involved. Section 9. Looking ahead, potential futures for China and Taiwan. The future of the China-Taiwan conflict is uncertain. The possibility of a peaceful resolution remains elusive. Given the fundamental differences between the two sides, China's growing military power and its determination to achieve reunification, combined with Taiwan's resistance to unification, create a volatile situation. One potential scenario is that China could escalate its military pressure on Taiwan. This could include a blockade or even a full-scale invasion. Such a move would have devastating consequences for the region and the world. Another possibility is that the status quo could continue, with periods of heightened tension and military posturing. However, this situation remains precarious and could quickly escalate into conflict. Ultimately, the future of China and Taiwan depends on the choices made by leaders in Beijing, Taipei, Washington, and other capitals. Dialogue, diplomacy, and a commitment to peace are essential to preventing a catastrophic conflict.